At the close of fiscal year 2025, Kentucky was sitting on at least $3.7 billion in its budget reserve trust fund, informally known as the state's rainy day fund. Now, could the state use that money to cover the monthly cost of $106 million for the nearly 600,000 Kentuckians who receive SNAP benefits? Technically, yes. It could, but it's more of a question of how could that happen and would that conceivably happen? Governor Andy Beshear has said the state doesn't have the money to cover the costs of SNAP benefits for Kentuckians. Now, the governor recently joined a lawsuit to force the federal government to fund SNAP after President Donald Trump's administration said it would not tap a $5 million contingency fund to help pay for the program. SNAP benefits will no longer be funded starting November 1st due to the federal government shutdown. Now, for Beshear to use the rainy day fund to cover November's SNAP benefits, he would need to call a special session of the General Assembly and get lawmakers' approval, since the next regular session won't begin until January of 2026. The governor only has limited authority to take money from the rainy day fund on his own, and that's only to pay for emergency responses to disasters. In 2024, the Republican-controlled state legislature passed a bill setting a limit on the funds the state is allowed to allocate to match federal disaster funding in the event the president declares an emergency or disaster. That spending cap is $100 million across a 2-year budget cycle. That means even if an emergency were declared, the spending cap limitation alone would keep the rainy day fund from covering the full cost of SNAP benefits for even a full month period. Additionally, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has said that states that fund SNAP on their own accord will not be reimbursed later by the federal government. Beshear has also previously claimed that state revenues are expected to decrease enough to cause a budget shortfall, blaming at the time both economic uncertainty caused by Donald Trump's tariffs levied against imported goods, as well as the state tax cuts set to take place at the start of next year. Revenues for the current fiscal year, which runs from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026, are set to drop $359 million due to the state's continued cuts to the state income tax. I'm Andrew Henderson with Kentucky.com. Thanks for watching.